the offense to get into a rhythm. How do you think the tide turned in the third quarter?
Yeah, I think it turned on both sides of the ball for us. Just challenge them not to worry about the scoreboard at this moment because we weren't playing as executing how we needed to, as physical as we needed to, and all things. But sometimes it just takes a first down or two, or a big conversion on third down or something, and we got it. And I think we started to get some rhythm and some confidence. Now maybe the score had something to do with that, and they're playing a little softer, but nonetheless, I thought we started to generate some of that offense that we needed.
How would you describe the athleticism and the effort that Jeremy Robinson showed on that play?
Yeah, it was a heck of a play by Jeremy, for him to do that. He has those abilities. We've been saying that since the spring. I think he's made a lot of strides, and it was, happy for him because he's battled some things, just in staying healthy and consistent. And to see him make a big play like that really, I'd say that, and probably the fourth down stop were the two biggest plays of the second half.
Lance, I know we talked about third downs last week, but in the first half, was there a bigger thing than that for you in your mind? Any disparity there?
There's a lot of things in that first half that weren't good. We didn't get much of a rhythm. We didn't convert on third down, but we're probably in that third long range again. We didn't punt the ball very well, and they pretty much dialed up what they needed to run and play action off of that made it very difficult for us. Even when Mello got the interception, we go 3 and out, I believe, and it's like that's when and then we punt it to the 1, and then they go right down and score again. So it's like, that's a disappointing part of the game right now that we've got to find that we were making some of those early in the year. We're not right now.
I know you're heading into an open week after this, or by whatever you want to call it. Physically, how much do you feel like this team needs now at this point?
A lot. I mean, this is, I don't know this, so I'm making it up, but I would say it's one of the later open weeks in the country, I would say. But at the same time, we had a conference game week 2. I would rather have it coming up than week 2 of the season. If that was, I don't even know if it was an option, but I definitely would. There's a lot of guys that didn't play today, and you look at where we were at the beginning of the year and guys that we used to talk about in these and other places, whether it be Jalen Daniels or Daniel Highshaw or Luke Grimm or Kobe Bryant making huge plays. I mean, but it is what it is, and that's the way it is across the country, and we've got to find, let alone the guys who have played a lot of snaps, we got to find but it's not an off week, okay? And we've got a lot of work to do in a lot of different areas and things that we talk about and have to get better at.
You mentioned Luke. I think he did go through warm-ups. What was his?
Yeah, he barely even did anything last week. We were hoping that we could get through with some minimal things and maybe he'd be able to give us something today, but he wasn't able to.
And, it looked like Jalen dressed and went through warm-ups, and they didn't have a boot on anymore. Just for either of them, could they be back to Oklahoma State?
Don't know at this time, but they're both moving in a good direction.
How did the score maybe impact the ratio of run to pass?
I don't even know what ours was right now, to be honest. But obviously, when you're down more than 3 scores, 28-3, you're gonna have to try to close the gap a little bit. I think we struggled running the ball at times today, anyway. So I think we had to. I think you're probably alluding to that we had a lot more passes than runs today. And again, here late in the game, you got to try to make that happen as well. So. Yeah, it's score related, but also matchup related sometimes too.
What impact, if any, did the wind have?
Well, I don't know if we handled it very well. In some areas today, they punt into the wind and the guy nails one. We didn't handle that, and I know Reese kind of went through. I don't know if it has more with the drop than it does with the actual. I'm doing that. We didn't handle it as well. I thought Jason, though, for all in all, threw the ball pretty well. I mean, the catch by Trevor down at the 1, that was into the wind. I couldn't sit there and say, like, that part. But it's usually when the ball gets up a little bit more in stadiums that cause issues.
I think I saw that you told the sideline reporter at halftime that you wanted the defensive line to be more physical. Did
Yeah.
you see that physicality?
Yeah, I thought we did. And I say D-line, that's not fair. It's really front seven to nine. I mean, you can watch some things, and you watch Kenny, who plays extremely hard, throws up around, and, as he makes plays at second and first level, you watch, everyone. We've got to continue to play confidently downhill, and that's what it appeared like in the first half. That, they do a really good job with their zone scheme and things like that, and how they are able to add gaps at times, but also their stretch play and then the play action off of it. And they, we're running laterally a lot, but we're also running lateral. We're even almost losing ground sometimes. You could see on replays, and we got to be able to be better there. And but again, there's a good football team, just like you see in this league every week, and and sometimes that's we continue to learn more about ourselves as we go, and we have to be able to recognize that, address it, and continue to have the burning desire to get better and find a way to win football games. And the part I'll take away from today is really until the first 25 minutes or so of the second half. I mean, when we scored, when Jason scored, and there's about 5-6 minutes to go, and we're right there. Now, and I don't want to put it on our defense, because they gave us so many more opportunities to even keep us there when we were struggling at other times.
Can you speak to the character of Quentin to shake off some unfortunate things, but then to come through the touchdown the team needed?
Yeah, it does. You got to keep playing. You got to be able to flush plays. Those are things we got to continue to work on. To put two down is tough. But again, it says a lot about them, and hopefully anybody in our program that makes a mistake, and you got to be able to flush it and go. Thank you.
Jason, that drive, like the third quarter and into the fourth quarter, what did it take to be able to string and extend that drive?
I think when we got the first play going, I think that gave us a little confidence. I think, once we get going on offense, I think it's kind of tough to, stop us once we get going. I think that was just the main thing. Just get rolling on that first couple of plays, and then, the rest is, just got to execute.
What was the difference second half to first half in being able to develop and maintain rhythm?
I think we came out in the second half, a little pissed off about, how the first half went. I think, Coach Leipold talked to us, going into the second half, and, I think we were just ready to go, and, we came out with the ball rolling.
Like being able to, for the line to provide the protection needed, for Jason to be able to operate. How does that happen?
Just communication, and really in the beginning of the week when we're working through our preparation of watching film and stuff and being on the same page, that's where that comes, and where we kind of get that chemistry throughout practice and throughout film of what kind of games they might run at a certain situation. So, we got to do obviously better than that, and keep him clean in the back, in the backfield. But I thought the second half we just came out and were more urgent about it, and we had we were more determined, I thought.
Jeremy, can you explain just the effort of your closing speed in that pursuit and making that big play happen?
It was a whole lot of straining, and that's what our coach was talking about before we came in at halftime, that we have to strain to finish this game, and we're going to keep fighting to the end.
Have you ever had a fumble recovery that long?
Not since high school, I think.
Lance mentioned that he feels like this team really needs a bye week to sort of just get healthy and everything. Each of you has a position group that was affected in some way today by that. I guess really for each of you, how much do you think you need a bye week as a team just to get healthy? Yeah.
It's definitely going to be beneficial for us. Have an extra week of film, extra week of treatment. Not really, banging and hitting every day. So that'll be good for us, and really just, get our team, kind of reset it a little bit, get our feet back on the ground, and get ready to, compete and win games.
Jason, you were
Yeah, I think this bye week's going to be helpful for us, just to get healthy, get some guys back. I think we got a last little stretch here this season, looking just, finish out the season strong. We started off very strong and, got a kind of lull here, but, I think this bye week will, get us back into, good shape. And, I'm excited for these last couple games of the season.
Oh, well, yeah, it's going to give us some breathing room. And that's just going to help us finish this the second end of the season off strong.
Jason, on that touchdown run, you had a receiver, but what goes into your mindset of what play to execute?
Score however I can.
Can you talk about just the trust and the grace that you have in Q, that there were a couple of plays that were unfortunate, but still being able to believe in him and not go away from him?
Yeah, well, everybody makes mistakes. I make mistakes, just as much as anybody. So, I think, just because somebody makes a mistake doesn't mean I'm not going to keep coming back to them. I have trust in every single person in that locker room. Just because they make one bad play doesn't mean they're a bad player or they're, going to continue to make mistakes. So, I have trust in Q, the whole receiver room, the running backs, tight ends, O-line, everybody. So I think, just that the relationships that we have in the locker room, I think is, key to, just the way we play out there on the field.
Mike, I know when Earl went down, Bryce moved over to the other tackle spot, and there was some movement in who's going where. Are you guys able to practice that a lot during the week, or is that something where you sort of just have to trust that Bryce can make that move and everyone can make it?
Throughout practice, you'll have like rotations of, reps and stuff, so you kind of get a few different lineups, but a majority of the reps is with the starters. So, but like Jason was saying, if one man goes down, it's next man up, and we're completely confident with that next lineman that has to come in into that huddle. We're completely confident with it. So, I think the chemistry in the room really helps that out on the field when that incident does happen. But we're fully confident with anybody coming in.
How much of that confidence comes from being that you guys have been together and you just have that cohesiveness from year one to year two?
A bunch. It's all trust. Going through adversity with one another and being able to count on somebody when you need to. That's a huge thing in our room, and we have a lot of trust in one another as well.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.